Today, we're going to work on the neck for this guitar. Hey everybody, this is Matt and we're at Texas Toast Guitars. Thanks for watching. This is part the third of building a Challenger with the guys from Texas Toast. As you'll recall from the other two episodes, if you watch them, we're working on this Challenger. This last time we shaped we rough profiled the neck and got it ready for the next couple of steps. And those next couple of steps are to put the headstock angle on, drill some tuner holes, truss rod slot, and even put the fretboard on. So if you haven't watched those, go ahead and check them out now and catch up with us, or you can watch this one and go back and watch them later. But you know what? Let's just jump right in. We've got a bunch of stuff to do, and I got a bunch of guitars to do. We're going to do a bunch of necks today. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with, we're going to pull all the necks from the bodies, and we're going to start with the headstock angle. Let's jump in. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put every single neck on this angled jig. Now, if you're a machinist, you might call this a sign plate. And we have this specifically done to work with our necks, and it holds the necks at a 7-degree angle and imparts that same angle to each of our necks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buzz some of this off with the pin router, just like this. And then I'm going to cut the big chunk of it off so I don't turn it all into dust. And it'd probably be just as easy for me to do it as it would to show you how to do it. So let's jump in. We got 4 of these guys to do. So y'all can see I indexed the little holes that we drilled in the last episode for the fretboard, and I just put those right up against this strap clamp here. That way every single neck goes into the jig the same every time. So now that we've got an angle kind of ground into one side, we'll go over to the bandsaw and we'll cut this big chunk of headstock out so it doesn't turn to powder. We'll come back over to the pin router and we'll smooth everything out, clean everything up. It'll look like $100 million. So I'm using the line that we drew on here kind of with the pin router. It's actually a little notch. I'm just following that with the saw. That way I don't have to draw it out. It's easier for me to do that because I'm all jigged up. So what I'm doing now is I'm putting the each neck back on the sled and running it through the pin router, and I'm going right up to where it goes almost to where the nut is going to end, and it looks good. And since all the necks are the same, and since they're all going on the sled the same, I can take this neck off and put it back on the jig and cut them all exactly the same. All right, so you guys probably saw me adjusting the crank a little bit. You know, putting these each neck on the sled in the same exact spot every time isn't exactly a science. So I try to make sure that we get it as close as we can. We can always go back and run a block with some 60 or 80 grit on it and get everything dialed in at the very last second. So these necks are all ready to go to round 2. Now that we've got the headstock angles on all of our necks, we can put them in our truss rod slotting sled on the big green pin router here and put truss rod slots in each one of these necks. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So I got the truss rods in my necks, and I got some pins in the necks, and I got some holes in the fretboards. So now what we're going to do is we're going to glue the fretboards onto the necks. Every cowboy. Will you hand me that Bode? All right, what you guys have seen me doing in the last few frames there was I trimmed back the fretboards after we glued them on, and I did some other stuff. Oh, I bandsaw and router. I've been doing a bunch of stuff today, so I'm kind of losing track of time. But what we have to do next is fit this neck to this body and make sure that the heel is inset into the neck. Enough. As you can see, that's way too tall right there, even for a tune-o-matic. So what we're going to do is we're going to hack a bunch of this off with the bandsaw and then smooth it out with the drum sander. We're also going to drill for our tuner holes, and then we'll be ready to call this video a done deal. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to trim some with the bandsaw, then we're going to smooth it out with the drum sander, and we're going to get it to be perfect, and it's going to be great. All right, let's jump right in.
Yep.
All right. So I'm going to measure the depth of my pocket, which is right at 1 inch, and so I don't want it to be any less than that. I want it to probably come to about here. So we're going to cut all this off on the bandsaw. Ready? Mm-hmm. So I got my reveal exactly where I want it, which is 3/8 from the top of the fretboard to the top of the guitar body, and that works with the bridge that we use. So I just used my drum sander, the old man machine, and don't worry about this, that's all going to get cut away when we start making this into a neck. So the last thing we have to do is drill for some tuner holes. We'll go over to the drill press now and use our 7-degree angle sled, and it's going to be so simple, even I can do it. So I'm not worried about going all the way through because my headstock is way thicker than it's eventually going to be. So I drilled down probably 3/4 of an inch, and by the time that we carve all this back away, the holes will be perfect every time. All right guys, so let's go ahead and wrap this video up. We got the neck is quite a bit further along, it's fit to the body, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to install, we're going to route for pickups, but that'll be in video number 4. So we decided we're going to go with 2 P90s on this, so 2 P90s and a Hipshot trim, which I think is going to be really cool. I'd like to know what you guys think in the comment section below. Guys, if you want to learn how to build guitars the same way that we do, I'd like to encourage you to come out for one of our week-long classes. You can go to our website, link in the description below, and you can sign up for any of the stuff that we have. The website is up to date, so if the class doesn't stay sold out, you can get in. So if you want to build a classic set neck like what we're doing here, you can do that. Or if you want to build a straight up telly, you can do that too. Pretty much anything you want, we have lots and lots and lots of offerings. If you have any questions about what we did in the video, please leave them in the comment section below. I will try to answer them as best we can, but it's easier to send me a message on Thursdays when we do our live guitar Q&A every Thursday, 5 o'clock Mountain Time. If you like this video, give me the thumbs up, and if you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, why don't you do so? And if you really appreciate content like this, you might want to go over to our Patreon page and become a member. Even $1 a month goes a long way to helping us bring you guys neat stuff like this. And remember, in 2022, all of our videos are Patreon driven. That means that if you guys have a video and you're a Patreon member, send me a video idea and we will do our best to make said video. So, until next time, this is Matt at Texas Toast reminding you that if you're so smart, start your own YouTube channel. That's what I did. Thanks for watching, you guys. We'll see you next time.